Okay, guys, what is the point of all this? Review. The cardiovascular system is the heart's ability to supply the muscles with oxygen. Okay? So when you are doing cardiovascular activities, you are working on your heart. This is the most important thing you're going to learn in PE. When people start doing an exercise program, so many people quit because they are always out of breath. They see no improvements in their cardiovascular health. They're sore. It's why personal trainers it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's why everyone's got a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. You really don't need any of those things. You just need to understand what the heart does, what these color zones are, and what you need to do for your personal goal with your fitness or health. Okay? So the blue zone, review. This is the one that we liked. It's low intensity. It's for people who are just starting out. If you're just starting out, don't go into the green zone. That's just miserable. Okay? You start in the blue zone and work your way up. The blue zone is social exercise. 124 to 145 beats per minute for people your age. You can do it for a long time, an hour or more. That social exercise, you can maintain a conversation without changing how you breathe. Okay? The green zone. Okay, this one is more moderate intensity. This is the cardio zone. This is the most important zone for health. If all you are interested is health, then this is the zone where you want to be working at. It is 70 to 80% of your max. For people your age, it's 145 to 166 beats per minute. And you do it for a minimum of 15 minutes. And that's where you can talk, but you need to take breaths in between so your breath has changed. You are sweating, okay? You're doing all those good things. Now, for some of you in the green zone, it depends on your fitness level. Some people are walking and they are in the green zone. After about 10 minutes of walking, boom, they're in the green zone, okay? Someone who is more cardiovascularly fit, they might be running quite quickly and they're only in the green zone, all right? So that's why fitness is very individualistic, okay? It depends on your fitness level. The green zone, what you do and how fast you do it depends on your fitness level, okay? Because people's hearts will respond differently. Now the orange zone, this is vigorous or more intense. It's 80 to 90% of your max. So it's almost at the max of where your heart should be exercising. That's 166 to 185 beats per minute. It's more performance or athletic based. That doesn't mean you have to be an athlete to train in this zone. There are lots of people who train in this zone. They just have spent some time in the green zone and have good cardiovascular health before they push themselves in the orange zone. Orange theory, okay? Works in your orange zone, okay? Your perceived level of exertion. So instead of having to buy the $200 watch, you just need to know, geez, I am huffing and puffing. Think of Tim in his demo. The dude was huffing and puffing. You could see his breathing, all right? He could not talk very well when he was actually doing the exercise. And when he was doing his pulse, he could talk a little bit, but there was major heavy breathing, okay, to keep up with the demand. All right? Mrs. Cross likes chocolate. Okay, so the big ideas. Number 1, monitor your progress. Take your pulse during your exercise or pay attention to how you're feeling. Lots of you guys were going, yeah, I'm in the green zone and my heart rate is 16 beats for 15 seconds. You're not even in the blue zone. So that's why I wanted you to stop and check your heart rate every 5 minutes for the green zone and every 10 minutes for the blue zone, so you knew where you're at and you knew whether you should speed up or slow down. Tim modeled that beautifully in the orange zone. He said, my heart rate's too high, I need a little bit more time. He needed a little bit more time to lower his heart rate and get it out of the no-go zone and into the red zone. That was some of the biggest mistakes. You have to know what zone you're in. Also, understand the zone that you're working in. Understand that if you're choosing to exercise in the blue zone, that's just for you getting started. It's social exercise. It's better than nothing, but you're not going to get a lot of cardiovascular benefits from that. Understand that if you go into the green zone, you are going to get cardiovascular benefit, but you have to go for longer than 15 minutes. That doesn't mean you have to run for 15 minutes. You have to keep your heart rate in that green zone for minimum 15 minutes. A lot of people can go for a 45, an hour, but minimum 15 minutes to get that cardiovascular benefit, and then you try for 20 and then try for 25. But remember, some of you can be walking and be in that green zone. Green zone doesn't necessarily mean run, doesn't necessarily mean jog, but you have to make sure you are in the right zone. Orange zone is for the people who are fit and are a little into more hardcore, and that is for less time. So the big idea here, as you increase the intensity from blue to green to orange, you decrease the amount of time you have to work out. Okay, and we're going to talk about intensity with all types of exercise. The harder it is, the less you have to do. Okay? The next big idea, this is why I wanted you to take your pulse immediately after exercise. I put it all over the place, and you guys, some of you just didn't do that. The reason why is that as soon as you stop exercising, your heart starts to recover and beats more slowly. So if it takes you 30 seconds to a minute to walk into the house and then you talk about something and then take your pulse, your heart rate could go down 30 or 40 beats per minute in that time. And the more fit you are, the faster your heart goes down to that resting heart rate number more quickly. If I'm not very fit, my heart's beating for several minutes after I have stopped exercising. If I'm fit, within 2 minutes, your heart rate can go down significantly. Okay? So that's something that we did incorrectly. You need to take your pulse immediately after you do the activity, because as soon as you stop, your heart rate goes down. All right. Next thing, you can do cardiovascular exercise for 5 to 6 days a week, and Mrs. Cross hates Brussels sprouts. So what does this all mean? It means that Mrs. Cross's favorite Disneyland character is Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Okay, so when I want to work my cardiovascular system, we're going to introduce the FIT principle, F-I-T-T, frequency, intensity, type, and time. Okay, so frequency, how often? So how often should you work the cardiovascular system? 5 to 6 days a week. Intensity, how hard should you work out? Well, that depends on what zone you want to work out in. You're either going to work out in the blue zone, 60 to 70% of your max heart rate, the green zone, which where most of you will be, 70 to 80% of your max heart rate, or the orange zone, 80 to 90% of your max heart rate for the few who are very fit. What type of activity? Any cardiovascular activity depends on the color zone. So for my blue, it's the walking, it can be the bouncing on the tramp, it's shooting baskets. For my green zone, it's bike riding, it's jogging, it's hardcore, bouncing on the trampoline, it's probably some dancing, it's all those things. And for orange zone, it's doing things more intensely, some specified workout. And then how long should I work out? Well, that depends on what zone you're working in. The blue zone, you need to go for a long time, 45 minutes to an hour. Green, minimum 15 minutes to get cardiovascular benefit, but you can go for longer. And the orange zone, up to 15, 20 minutes. So again, as you increase the intensity or the difficulty, you decrease the time.